Alright, so I got a 2013 Nissan Pathfinder with the infamous visors that like to hang and fall down. Alright, this is a driver's side one I just fixed. I was trying to make sure I could get it going the way I wanted it. And as you can see, it works pretty good. It's got some tension to it, so it'll adjust. And then when it goes back up, it snugs right back up to the roof. This is the passenger side. As you can see, this kind of flops. It does hang up, or clip up, but it doesn't go up all the way. So I've already started to take this one apart. Up here in the corner, you have a little clip that holds it. There's a little small cover that goes over two screws. This cover pops off. It has a catch on either corner, and then the one here in the center. So be careful when you pop it off. The screws are 7mm, and you'd be best off to use a nut driver. They're not in there real tight, and you need to be careful that you don't strip them out. So I used the nut driver and tried to be very careful with them. When you pop this out, it has a little hook that catches in the front, and then the back comes down. And as you can see, this is a platinum edition, so I have the lights in the visors. So we have a power cord here to disconnect. Just squeeze on a little tab right there, and it'll come right apart. As you can hear, turning this back and forth, it's hitting on the inside. It's no longer secure. That's where the flop comes from. And momentarily you'll see how to do that. To get this visor apart, start up here at the corner. I have the extensions. Most of them probably do. But if you get up here in the corner with a flat blade screwdriver, carefully separate that and the clips will come loose. Once you get the corner, work it slowly down the edge. Do not put a lot of pressure on it. I'll show you a tab that could break off, but you'll just gently want to separate it with some pressure and wiggle it a little bit, and it will come apart. Okay, so on these tabs to hold this together, it's a little square piece here. It has a little notch on the corner, fits into the square piece, and as you can see, they are throughout the top around. So as you're taking it apart, they come loose. These bottom ones way down here by the swivel are a little tougher. You just have to be careful that you don't get these broke off. It'll still go back together, just so it'll have a little bit more flex to it. As you can see, here's the culprit. The little bracket down here comes apart. The swivel here has nothing holding it in. This is actually supposed to be down securely on this side here, and I'll show you that in a minute. So this one here broke a little bit different than my other one. On my other driver's side, this whole piece was broken off also. On this one here, the cover part that goes across has broken off on this side here, and then this is the part that has the tension on the arm, and this just flops inside the visor, causing it to droop. So as you can see, there's a little notch right there, originally from the factory. This little tab right here, you can see if I can get this here. So this little tab right here fits into this little notch. What I've done on the other one to fix it is, as you can see, there is a gap underneath here. I took two tie straps, or wire ties, zip ties, whatever you'd like to call them, and I positioned it back down here to where this notch was seated in here, and I put two zip ties on them and held it in. Now, it only makes it as strong as this part of the bracket. What I'm doing is reinforcing the top part Very easily, this one here will probably end up breaking eventually, as cheap as these have been made. But it does keep it from flopping for a while. Does save you $100. And I'll zip this one up here and show you what it looks like. And maybe this will help you on yours. So as you can see, I've positioned a couple zip ties. It goes underneath that little shelf here, little bracket. And the way I did it this way here, so this way, when the tie is stretched over and tight, it'll hold the snap here down close into the bracket. I didn't want to do it the other way. It would make it a little bit harder to keep it down there and then be able to snip it off and make a clean finish. So I'll show you the finished piece here in just a second. So here you go. I've got the 2 zip ties in here. I did leave that little piece of plastic in there, kind of a spacer, help hold it down in there. It may break out of there momentarily, but for now it gives a little bit more support and spreading the pressure out over that tension piece there. And then here you can just snip off the end of the tie straps with a small pair of wire cutters. And with that done, there you have it. They stay down out of the way. They're tight over here. And then at this point, you just have to snap it back together. Be careful of your wires. This one here is stretched pretty good. I don't know why they put the clip on one side and then the light on the other side. That's about as dumbass as you can go. But that's the way they did it. Make sure you get the wire down there in that groove. And as you can see, this will just snap up. It has all of these aligning rings, so it'll align all the way around and then snap back together. Make sure that everything is in there, that your slide shade is pre-positioned in there under the slides, and that your roller pin is still in there for clipping up. So here you go. Here's the finished product put back together. And as you can see, it's in there snug, and it does snap back, and it should go and pop right up there against the ceiling and stay there. It'll work good if you turn this down to be able to work on it. When you go put it back up here in the ceiling, go ahead and get your wire back on there, snapped in securely. Here I'm trying to do it with one hand, you know, hold on a second. All right, so it's snapped back in there. Push it up into the ceiling, into the roof line. The front of your clip should hook into the metal. And again, one-handed here. And then put your screws in. You can clip this up in here. This will hold it for you. When you put these screws in, turn them counterclockwise a little bit. Make sure you catch a thread so you don't mess up the threads in the roof line. 7mm nut driver, and just go slow with it. So there you go. Get the screws up in there. You just need to go snug. You don't have to put a whole lot of pressure on it. Take your cap, get your cap and snap it back over, cover it up, and when you're all done, you have a visor that plops up against the roof the way it should be. It'll come down, it'll adjust, it'll go all the way up, and then when you go back, it stays up there, doesn't flop down in front of your face. That's a fix for sun visor for 2013 Nissan Pathfinder.